Nicolas Cage, the man, the legend. This is Vampire's Kiss. I'm reviewing Vampire's Kiss, Nicolas Cage's cagiest movie.
How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned?
I don't know!
I think this movie is incredibly misunderstood. I think it was mismarketed, actually. And I think it was supposed to be a comedy. I don't think it was supposed to be taken seriously. I think it was supposed to be a comedy, kind of satire, kind of tragic comedy about a man going insane. And the writer apparently also did another comedy, also wrote another comedy called After Hours, which is very offbeat, and I've yet to watch it, but apparently it's quite good. And Nicolas Cage's performance really elevates this movie to incredible heights. I mean, the screenplay is bizarre to begin with, but Nick Cage just takes it and runs.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
And it makes it for the most thoroughly funny and enjoyable movie. And I watched this film like 2 times without any commentary and 1 time with the commentary, and I've laughed every time at the same things. And this movie is famous for the Nicolas Cage meme scene in the film. The crazy face just gets crazier and crazier, and I can never watch that scene without laughing, because every time the camera cuts to his face, it's just crazy, and then it just all melts away, and he's calm and cool.
High school.
A big reason why I think this film is misunderstood is because of the marketing. And the marketing kind of markets this as a straight-up horror romance film, kind of.
He was an ordinary guy.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Looking for an extraordinary love. A kiss that could drive you mad.
And I just think the marketing team didn't really understand that it was supposed to be satire. And because it's very offbeat, it's there's definitely tragedy in there, and it's definitely a very dark comedy if you believe that was supposed to be a comedy. There's rape.
Rape you? I will.
And murder.
Well, the fact is, I did murder someone last night.
And a man going insane. And all things which are usually treated very heavily with much impact in a drama movie. Well, here it's also treated very very sensitively, I would say, in that you do feel for these characters and for what this kind of tragedy. You feel for Nicolas Cage's character because he's going insane. It's always difficult to watch someone descend into madness, as well as it's always kind of entertaining when they're doing what Nicolas Cage is doing.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. That's all you have to do. How do you spell anything? What time?
And you definitely feel sympathetic towards Alva, even though you were just laughing a couple of minutes ago about all these crazy things that Nicolas Cage was doing to poor Alva.
Am I getting through to you, Alva?
So you definitely get those. In tragedy, there's always comedy, and comedy is always tragedy, and the movie definitely balances that out. You don't feel, you're not laughing at Alva all the way through. You're not laughing at Cage all the way through. You feel for these characters at some points in the movie, even though it is just completely absurd and hilarious, and you want to laugh at all these crazy things that Nicolas Cage is doing. And Nicolas Cage is really crazy in this one, and let me tell you what it's about. And it's a laugh riot all the way through. The last, like, 20 minutes or so where Cage is having this delusion about seeing his therapist, and his therapist is pretty much saying that it's okay that you murdered someone, these things happen all the time, and setting him up with this dream girl. It's a very hilarious scene because it's really just Cage all bloodied and with a stake in his hand talking to no one on the streets of New York.
Well.
And this film set in New York is a very great setting for this film. especially with the scenes on the street where Cage is being crazy and no one's like really paying attention. And it kind of shows how Cage is kind of isolated in this world. Well, not Cage himself, but the character. He's kind of isolated in this world, and he kind of snaps because of all this apathy around him. And it's a very claustrophobic environment. I haven't been to New York, but I can see why it would be a setting filmmakers would like to choose for claustrophobic kind of films, films about people going insane, the city in general. But I think New York in the 80s was also a very, very good scene very good setting for a movie like this. So anyways, I could go on, I guess. There's actually not much to go on about. This film is just funny. You should watch it if you are interested in Nicolas Cage, and if you've seen some of the movies he's been in. He's been in a lot of very, very bad movies. He pretty much accepts any role, and he's known for overacting, and but I think he actually is a good actor when he wants to be or when the role requires him to be. He just hasn't been accepting very many good roles lately. I think this is actually a good example of, even though it's often cited as an example of his overacting, because he is playing overly crazy kind of character, I think he does play that character very well. And other films that I believe Nicolas Cage is actually very good in are Adaptation, where he plays Charlie and Donald Kaufman, and Wild at Heart, where he also is kind of unhinged and crazy, and Bad Lieutenant, again, very unhinged and crazy, but it works in those films, and he's playing a character, and I think he's playing that character very well. Anyways, definitely go watch Vampire's Kiss. Just don't take it too seriously, and you'll definitely have a good time.
It's happening to me!